Tim Hortons, the Starbucks of Canada?
I'd say it's more like the Dunkin' Donuts.
Let's find out.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Whole Brain Coffee. Today we're going to be looking at a very particular brand of coffee that has gained a lot of popularity. This is Tim Hortons blend of coffee. The original roast here, the whole bean medium roast. I'm actually excited to try this, and so if you don't know anything about Tim Hortons, they are a Canadian multinational fast food chain, originally started as Tim Hortons Donuts. They are actually Canada's largest fast food chain, or quick service chain, if you will.
You know, I'm excited to try this as well. I've never tried it. Have you?
I have never tried this.
Never been to a Tim Hortons.
Never
have
been.
I tried their bagged coffee. But it's interesting. It was started by Tim Horton and Jim Charade.
Yes, that's correct.
Now, a question comes to mind. How come this is called just Tim Hortons? Where did Jim go?
Well, that's a fair point. So if you know where Jim went, then please leave a comment below. As far as naming it Tim Hortons,
I hope Jim's all right.
We do hope Jim's all right, seriously.
Sincerely.
So Tim Horton was a famous NFL player, and this whole idea that he had other ventures in burgers before, but then he opened his own donut shop. And so over time, it went from Tim Hortons Donuts just to Tim Hortons with an apostrophe, and then no more apostrophe, just Tim Hortons.
Well, with that being said, we should get brewing, but before we do, one quick question. What was the price of this bag? Expensive or cheap?
It is not a very expensive coffee. I want to say it was maybe around $12 or so.
Let's get brewing.
Let's get brewing. So,
all right, well, let's move on to the first segment
Yes.
of the review,
the whole brain smell test.
the smell test.
Let's see here. Because the coffee actually by sight looks pretty good.
It smells good.
Okay.
I smell soap a little bit.
It smells a bit
I smell soap.
average.
Do you smell soap in there?
So when I opened the bag, I will say I did notice more prominent hints, though of not oxidization, but more of a significant degree of CO2, more so than should be in a bag of coffee. But that being said, when I pulled the beans out, I inspected them. They seemed okay. They actually look pretty good. So we're gonna go ahead and hold this to the scrutiny of the whole brain taste
Do
test.
you not smell soap in there? Or something that
No, I agree.
resembles soap?
I agree. I do smell something that it's
Like Irish Spring.
It smells like your 90-year-old grandmother's house. A little bit, like in her restroom, like whatever soap she uses, like the ivory soap.
It smells like a good soap.
Yeah, it's
a
not
little
bad.
bit like a soap.
But that's just a bit odd. I hear you. I hear you on that. Let's see. It's not bad. Not great, but not bad. Honestly, it's a perfectly average tasting cup of coffee.
that is a good way to describe it.
It's so perfectly average.
It is so neutral.
It is completely neutral. It is the most inoffensive coffee we might have had on the channel, but also it's
This-
not impressive at
This
all.
coffee has nothing bad going for it at
Right.
all, but also nothing good for it.
So we're not offended, but we're also not impressed.
This coffee, this is something like if you were to make a time capsule or perhaps send this to aliens, right? If they were curious
okay.
what coffee tasted like,
Sure.
you had to give them an idea of what coffee is, right?
Right.
And not mislead them in any way. Mm-hmm. This is what you would send to them.
Like if aliens wondered what do people typically drink in a day,
What is coffee, period, right? What does coffee taste like, period? Let's do this. I know what I would rate this already.
yeah. What's your professional whole brain scale
I know
opinion on this?
exactly what I would
Yeah?
rate this coffee.
Yeah. What's that?
I think you know what
I
it is.
think I know what it is.
I would give this somewhere between a 4 and a 6. I haven't decided yet.
There are actually many numbers. Some would say infinite numbers between 4 and 6, but there is one particular that stands out to me. And if you want to guess what that is, maybe. That
Why don't you guys guess in the comments, huh?
It's a good compromising number between 4 and 6 that many people might know.
We'll leave it up to you guys.
Yeah, we'll leave it up to you guys, but if this was being brewed at work, I would pick up a cup.
No, this is good.
Like it's decent. Like it's not a bad coffee at all. Like this is actually, I hate to say it, it's like this is actually better than a lot of other coffee chains with their just ordinary medium roast, run-of-the-mill blend.
I would say this is better than both Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts.
Now we did give Dunkin' a higher rating in a previous video, but I think upon
This is before we tried this.
reassessment, I think I might have to give a little bit of a higher spot to Tim Hortons.
Yeah. No, it is. This is like a beginner coffee. Like, it's a beginner coffee.
This is the most neutral medium roast you could possibly acquire. And honestly, if I were at Tim Hortons going through a drive-thru or going inside and it was, you know, like breakfast hour, I'd pick some up. Why not? And,
how does it make you feel? We forgot about that.
Oh, true. You're right. We should talk about our feelings a little bit.
How does it make you feel? You know, we've been trying to, in our reviews, get a little bit more in touch with our feelings.
I will say it makes me feel as though I'm actually having a pretty good morning. I'm on my way to work, to the studio, like to someplace I actually enjoy, and I think, you know what? I feel like treating myself today. I'm gonna stop by some Tim Hortons. I'm gonna get a nice breakfast. And you know what? I'm gonna get a tall cup of their original medium roast coffee.
Honestly, not a whole lot of feelings coming out of this because there's really nothing going for it, good or bad. It's beautifully and precisely neutral, average.
It could be a decent part of your day, a good part of your day. It's an additive. It's nothing particularly exceptional, but it's solid. I like it.
It's extremely good at not being bad.
Yes, it's perfectly imperfect.
I think that about wraps it up unless you have anything else to say.
Nope, not one bit. So thank you so much for tuning in to this episode. Hope you enjoyed it. If you want more content like this, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Let us know what you think of Tim Hortons. Have you had it? Have you enjoyed it? Not enjoyed it? Please let us know in the comments below. And as always, keep using your whole brain.